Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to get a little bit experimental on my Stumpjumper today because I've got a cross-country race coming up, actually a couple of them in succession, and I want to make a few tweaks to the bike to hopefully make it a better experience for me so I'm not going to fatigue quite as quick, and well, I'll probably fatigue quick anyway, but I just want to make it an overall better experience with hill climbing. So let me show you what we got. What I did was pick up this stem locally. This is a 35 mil Bontrager Covey Pro. We're gonna go ahead and stick this on, and I've already measured. It looks like it'll clear fine, and it should provide a little bit more of a stretch. And if I use these carbon, if I can't find another straight-ish low-rise carbon bar, I'll go ahead and use these 1-up 35s on there. But for now, I just want to get the stem on and see how it is with that alone. Maybe it'll be okay with this bar. Who knows? Small changes, right? Sometimes I go overboard and go drastic and then have to rein myself back in. So we're gonna go ahead and swap this out now. So the stem swap itself should be pretty simple. On the top of this is a, what is this, a 5 mil Allen. This is a Cane Creek cap. And the bottom is FSA. So we'll just loosen this cap a bit, and I'm gonna have to hold, I think I'm probably gonna have to hold the, yep, the fork. You can see it was dropping out there. And I'm actually going to need to loosen up the bolts on the side. There's two. So just get those loose enough so that the stem can come out. So when I take this cap off, like this, I'm going to pull the two spacers on the top, set those aside, and the stem will come off. I'm going to just lean this forward like that, and we're on. All right, so stem is on. We'll put our spacers back on. I am going to need two of these things, and then we'll just tighten it back down. So yeah, my hope is with this, and you can see already how dramatic of a change this is going to be. It's lowering the position of the bar, not only lowering it, but also making my reach effectively, what is this, probably 50 millimeters longer. I believe this is a 45 millimeter salsa stem. So going to this Covey is another, I think it's another 40 mil or so. I believe this is a 90 to measure it again. But it should be a pretty dramatic difference. Decided I couldn't just leave well enough alone just yet. And I really do think that I'm gonna have a benefit with clipless pedals. So I took the P&W Loam pedals off. They're practically new, and they're great pedals for flats by far. Or hands down, don't get me wrong, right? But I think I'm just gonna have, I should have an easier time putting in the miles with these. Thread it in easily. There we go. All right, now with my pedals on, I'm set. Right, well, I just couldn't leave things alone, and I was on a search for a flat-ish cross-country bar. I couldn't find one that was cheap, that I could get in quick. I would think that there'd be a million XC takeoff bars in the area that just weren't. So I did luckily score this Race Face Next bar. It does have a 20 mil rise, and compared to the 35 mil 1-up bar that came off of it, it is significant in comparison. Went ahead and removed the old bar, of course, as you can see. I'm going to reuse the same 90 mil Covey Pro stem, and I've gone ahead, because this is a carbon bar, I'm using carbon paste. So the carbon paste allows us to run about, I think it's in the neighborhood of 30% or so less torque when we're tightening the bolts down. So that's a plus. Hopefully that won't result in any more separation or gouging of the clear coat. On this, I'm going to be as gentle as I can here as I do this. So yeah, I'm going to mount this up, and that should be the final change here in the front before we go all XC race on this thing. All right, let me get the bike on the ground, sit on it, adjust the angle of the bars, and we'll be done. All right, so with this stem on here, it does push the bike forward. I'm going to want to angle these bars up to be right around here. That looks pretty flat. I guess I could push them forward, and that gives me more, that pulls me forward more, but I want to have a little bit of that angle that's built into the bar. I believe these are an 8-degree sweep. I will say the one-up carbon bars is a lot nicer than this. If I'm going to replace this, if I'm going to stick with a 20 mil rise bar, I'll probably end up getting another one-up, and just because it feels so good. And I definitely haven't experienced any of the finishing issues that I'm noticing here with the Race Face bar. So there we go. There's our new setup. Not a fan of these stickers, but whatever, it works. We should be good to go. If you did notice, I have these the hoses here kind of zip tied together to keep them tidy-ish. So keep that movement free without bind. All right, well, now that we're done, I'm going to go ahead and ride it around the street a little bit, find a shady spot, and stare at it, because I don't know about you guys, but that's what I like to do with my bikes.